Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. As mentioned in the daily financial news, we have her back. Anna Kelly is back from the trip. We are going to catch up with her. She's that amazing investor who's been with us for a couple of years, day job, retired, doing amazing things. Let's welcome back the one and only Anna Kelly. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Michael. It's so great to be back with you. And thank you for allowing me a couple of weeks off while we were on vacation and traveling. I thought it'd be kind of nuts trying to do a podcast in a car with four kids and a dog.
Yeah.
So it's great to be back and catch up.
Oh, absolutely. Again, thank you so much for giving us an hour each week. I thought it was great. You took 3 weeks on purpose to go really enjoy financial freedom, make some additional memories. You're still doing business. You're looking to expand in other markets. So I thought this first episode, we should just, allow the audience to kind of live vicariously through you and understand what's going on in your world. So what happened the last 3 weeks?
Sure, Michael. So, as we talked about a couple of years ago when I was getting ready to retire from the day job, and it's been a little over 2 years and 2 months now since I left the corporate world and decided to just do real estate full time and drop the day job. One of my main goals was really to make up for a lot of lost time in the years of working 70 to 80-hour weeks and just enjoy my time with my family, to really make memories and not just accumulate more things, but really accumulate time that would allow us to go and travel and just enjoy each other. And so we did that the first summer after I retired. It was amazing. Last year, COVID hit, so we really didn't get to go as many places as we wanted to. We just spent a bunch of time at the beach. And this year we decided, hey, let's spend a month. Let's just go for a full month. And so my son graduated high school, and this was our last big cross-country opportunity as a family before he's an adult and could say, no, mom, I don't want to go.
No, mom, don't want to go.
So I said, you are not 18 yet. You are going and you're going to have fun.
Mom said you're going to have fun.
I did. And guess what? He did.
Oh,
so they didn't like the idea of being gone quite a month because their friends are doing things and this and that. But I know the importance of those memories. And the few times that I did get to travel as a child really were impactful for me. So we spent a week at the beach and we came back home for 2 days to have a birthday party and a state championship for soccer. And then we left for 3 weeks and we did a Southern cross country. And it was primarily to make memories, but you know me, Michael, I'm always thinking about investments. And
yes, you are.
We had some strategic stops along the way so I could scope out, Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia area.
Nice.
And I went to some Florida markets that we're interested in the beach on the eastern coast. And then we went to Orlando for pure enjoyment, at least for the kids at amusement park at Universal. And then, made our way up through Destin and Pensacola area where my son will be going to school, and scoped out for hours beachfront property along the different beaches to see where would I really want to own a short-term rental that I can have as a second home, be close to my son.
Yep.
And while we were there, I got a townhouse that I'm selling, a short-term rental under contract to sell. Nice. So now the race is on for a 1031 to buy something. And it was great that I was able to really drive each of the beaches and get a feel for, what I want to buy. So that was the first part of our trip. Then we went to Texas to visit my family for about a week and a half and drove back up through Nashville and Memphis, Tennessee. I'd always wanted to, check out those areas, and spent July 4th there. Cool. And we ended it with 2 days exploring the life-size Noah's Ark and the Creation Museum in Kentucky. Wow. And got home last night. So it's been a full month of just pure enjoyment and fun and adventure.
Oh, that is so awesome to hear. And again, I just want people to realize that, we both worked decades to make this happen. And we share these things. Really, neither one of us are sharing any of this to say, oh, well, look at me. We just wanted to realize that if you have a plan and you work the plan and you stick at it long enough, you can have these things too.
Absolutely. Yeah. For 10 years, Michael, that we moved to Pennsylvania from Texas to start my husband's business. He and I worked 70 to 80-hour weeks. And the only time we ever took off was a week to go see my family in Texas. at Christmas or Thanksgiving every other year.
Oh,
For 10 years, we did not make that time that I wish we did because we always had something pulling at us, from the kids to apartments to his business, my work. And we didn't have the time or make the time, for that enjoyment other than to see family. So about 4 years ago, I said, enough is enough. 10 years is going to lead to burnout. We need to
yeah.
make ourselves take some vacations. And that's why we bought our first beach house rental, was forced vacation that would pay for itself, but give us an excuse to, hey, we're paying money. Let's go take 2 weeks of summer and go to the beach. And it was the best thing we did. And so from there, I said, okay, wouldn't it be great if we could actually travel for 3 weeks or 4 weeks this summer? And so a lot of what I do during the year now, because I did give up, a 6-figure income, I'm still doing well. And I've expanded my real estate business to more than replace that. But it's really important to me that I have enough money every year on top of that to be able to afford to go on vacation for a month. And so it's one of my whys. It's one of my big reasons. And when I look at opportunities and say, what's the opportunity cost? Is it going to keep me from spending time with my family, from going on this vacation? Is it going to help me to move the needle so that I can do that? And it makes it real easy to say yes or no to things that allow me to live the lifestyle that I want today. That is only possible because of that 2 decades of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. 2 decades, couple of 6-figure incomes. You can have it. It's the question. The path is simple. We've done a great job on this channel of saying, here's the path, but we can't walk it for you. And believe me, I wouldn't want to walk it again. But there is a path, and kind of tried and true. So that's pretty cool. So let's talk about the 1031, because again, I believe the house that you sold was the first one you just talked about, that one you used for 2 weeks, right? It's kind of the first vacation rental.
It absolutely was. And, it's funny because we have this townhouse in this beautiful community. I never dreamed I'd be able to own, a house and 5 bedrooms, gorgeous. But even as an investor, I said, I'm not paying retail for these things that most people in this community just throw the money out and have a second home and never rent them out. They can afford 2 homes. We were not in that position. And I still don't do that. It's like, if it doesn't pay for it, I don't buy it. Right?
Exactly. I don't.
But it was our first one, and we got a great deal. We bought it below market. It was a distressed asset. So I knew I was going in with about 90,000 in equity.
Yes.
I did a seller second, and I did creative financing for my 10% down. So it was a 100% finance deal. My loan on it was about 400,000, and they were worth, I bought it for 493. They were worth about 570, 580 at the time. And, last summer we bought a single family, bigger house in the same community facing the water. And now that we have that, I said, we got to sell the townhouse. There's no point in having 2, because this is a market that's high end, that makes sense as a second home. It pays for itself. It makes you a little extra, but there's an opportunity cost to having it where I could make more money on short-term rentals somewhere else. Right. So I'm not keeping this one just to keep it. So I was down there a month ago. So on June 7th, we left to go spend a week at the beach, and we were in our townhouse. And I looked and I saw 2 other townhouses, one right across the street and another one, were listed for $750 and $770. Again, for the last 3 years, even up until last summer, they were selling for $570, $580. So I said, this is the time. I got to put it on the market. And I have it under contract for $720. And, in 3.5 or 4 years. So it was just the time to sell. Got a great offer, basically closing very, very quickly. I'm really excited about it. But now I have 2 options, right? I pay the capital gain, which is lower this year than what it will be next year. We know what's coming, right?
Oh yeah, no question.
So I pay the capital gain and I find an apartment and get bonus depreciation to offset it and wipe it out. Or I 1031 into something that I'm going to hold a long-term, well beyond whatever the next capital gain is. So now that my son's going to school near Pensacola, we're looking for a short-term rental that's there in that area that I can 1031 into and have enjoyment there in Florida when we're there visiting, and then use it as a short-term rental to cover all of its costs and make some cash flow, in the interim.
Yeah. What I wanted people to hear in this story is, once you kind of do the work, you understand how to play, I call it a chessboard, whatever you want, right? You're moving pieces. You can really use real estate to enhance your life.
Yes.
I mean, that's exactly what you're doing, right? Your son has made an adult decision to go to college there. You would like to go see him. So you're going to, 1031 money here and an extra property because you already have a nicer one. You're going to move the equity potentially, probably very likely there. And oh, by the way, you're going to have it pay for itself, and then you'll be able to go see him when you want to. It's genius. And I just wish people realize that all this work you're doing, you really can use real estate to enhance your life, not be a negative.
Absolutely. And it was buying those small multifamily units and some single family houses as well that allowed me to have the extra cash flow to be able to be approved and qualified for a second home.
Yes.
Then I was able to rent it out to cover it. So I didn't make a killing on that property, but it bought the enjoyment, it bought the lifestyle, and it was paid for. And by still saying, I'm not going to pay top dollar, there's got to be some upside. I had these multiple exit strategies, knowing if I ever want to sell it, I can probably profit. And, now we are. And so what's with the beauty of that is now, we've increased our equity over $200,000 in just a couple of years. And even though properties are priced high right now everywhere, so just like I'm getting top dollar, I'm probably going to have to pay more than what I'd want to. But if this is a house I'm going to hold for the long term, I don't care the ups and downs and downs that happen. And this is an area that we've talked about before as part of this dream lifestyle.
Yep.
My youngest graduates high school in 8 years. I will be living in Florida in the winter. I will not be shoveling snow in Pennsylvania.
No.
So this is a home that I intend to be able to use to visit my children while they're in school, but I am going to use this as my winter home.
There you go.
Hopefully for the next 40 years, so
I love that.
But it's, if I wasn't, figuring out how to use real estate to create that lifestyle, I'd be stuck in Pennsylvania cold, never going to visit my kids. And, real estate can just do amazing, amazing things for you if you buy right.
Absolutely. I'm just curious, do you think there's a decent chance that your younger children go to the same school? Have you thought that far ahead? Yeah. You think
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. And, this is probably a topic for another episode, but, the school is basically, they take all the profits from another business to use to subsidize the cost of college for Christian families.
Wow.
And so it's about a third the cost of putting them in a public school here, but strong accredited school, very well recognized everywhere. It's just they have another business that funds most of the tuition. So my opportunity to my children was, you choose to go to school there where I pay less money for your college and still get you an incredible education. And the difference I'll give you as down payments in your first rental properties, so that you come out of college, not just with a degree that's been paid for, but with cash flow coming in from real estate that you can learn how to manage to get you started on your one rental at a time journey. So that's our plan for each of our children, should they take us up on it.
Oh, who wouldn't want to do that for their kids? That is awesome. That is pretty cool. Well, Anna, this has been so much fun catching up with you. How can people follow you, be part of your world, talk about Greater Purpose Capital?
Well, of course, here on Facebook at Anna, REI Mom Kelly. And if you're interested in passive investments, greaterpurposecapital.com is my website, where we talk about buying opportunities and communities where we can really go in and make an impact on the lives of our residents, as well as an impact on you and your finances.
Very cool, Anna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.